And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew. Hope you enjoyed. That lovely brutal OSC as we have returned with our next series. Our next matchup is going to be a best of 3 TVP, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, the blue Protoss player representing Club NV. It is Creator. Here we go. And now we can focus on our matches as GuMiho is going for a proxy. Of course he is. Okay, so as we settle into this game, I was about to praise Creator, saying that he has been looking on fire as of late. He's been looking so damn good. He just scored Classic, and specifically in this matchup, Creator has been popping off as well. So not looking too bad coming in against GuMiho, but GuMiho is a very unpredictable player. Very unpredictable here. So what will he whip out throughout the course of this series, especially in this matchup? He can be wild, he can be crazy, he can be out of this world. For the time being, it's only a singular Rax that's being proxied. I think this is going to be a proxy Rax Reaper, where you go in with your SCV, you throw down a bunker behind the mineral line, and you delay mining at that natural base. Pretty sure that's how we want to kind of come together with this. There we go. The Reaper is on the way. SCV is going to be backing off, actually. Okay, I assumed it would be coming in for the bunker, but no, it does retreat, does go back home. Reaper is on the way towards the main. We'll see how much damage GuMiho can get done. Not the most committed proxy, not the most all-in at all. It is just a way to be aggressive while we expand behind this, as we are going for a double gas follow-up. Okay, so with a double gas follow-up, delayed TC, faster factory. CC is going to be delayed, factory is going to be thrown down here in the main base. We only invest into the one Reaper. Rax is going to be floating back home, and the probe is stuck in the main. Is going to be trapped. Reaper gets in. And how good is the control from Creator so far? Ooh, does escape with that probe. Does manage to get away. One probe goes down, 2 workers go down, as that was the second probe across the map in the main base. We get a third probe. GuMiho getting a lot of damage done here. He barely does juke out the Stalker. Oh god! Tries to, and he will barely escape. Stalker is on the way. Can we intercept? We cannot, and the Reaper will survive. Clutch moves there from GuMiho. Does get the hell out of there at the same time back at home. Do have our CC on the way. That was a command center before the starport. So we're still getting into our economy, followed by that starport production. Safety Cyclone is on the way, and the game should be settling from here. GuMiho did a nice amount of economic damage, and he was able to confirm the at least economic opener of his opponent. Reaper dipped into the main, but did not see the tech, did not see the Twilight Council. So GuMiho, ooh, he gets chased down, and GuMiho is in the dark as to whether this is a Stargate opener or a Twilight Council. Still doesn't know. We're about to, though, with the medevac. Again, we should be working towards a drop here towards the main. Is going to be a medevac drop. Likewise, Widow Mines are amassing as well. And this is designed to, yes, get a little bit of damage done, true, but more importantly, scout and confirm the tech and confirm the gateways. We can see everything. We can see that it was a blink-based opener. There's 2 more gates on the way. That is 3 gates in total, by the way. A very safe opener, but this safe opener can quickly become an aggressive one if we throw down a 4th gateway. Like, 4-gate blink is terrifying, and we're not quite there yet. With 3-gate blink, we can gain map control, we can contain our opponents, and we can expand. We can expand behind it. That's the goal here of 3-gate blink. Is to be safe, secure, with map control into a little bit of a delayed expansion. GuMiho getting into his 3-1-1 setup, expanding here on the low ground. Drop comes in. Medevac drop does come in. We do get eyes on the gateways and on the Twilight Council. Mine shot. Oh my god. Retarding here, buying so much time. So much time, as finally a shot is not going to be going. GuMiho getting the Stalker. Very high value pickoff. Stalker goes down. A second drop is coming in.
Game paused.
And we do have a bit of a pause. I believe... Oh, okay. Hopefully everything is okay. I believe Maddox is...
Game resumed.
I believe Maddox is the observer. Once again, oh my god. Once again, we do have the retargeting there by GuMiho, buying so much time. Again, as you retarget the Widowmine, it resets the attack, which means you buy so much time. Saving that shot, finally it goes off, and so much mine time was delayed here in the main base. Widowmine is even going to be saved. GuMiho with the control does get out of there in time. Whew. And with that, GuMiho is going to be getting into tank production back at home. We have Stim on the way. We are just building ourselves up. Creator is expanding. Remember, did mention that 3-gate blink does lead into a third base, but ideally you want to move out across the map. Ideally with this opener from Creator, you want to be in the face of GuMiho, but he's stuck at home. He's stuck at home instead, and this drop is just doing so much for itself. Has already paid for itself with how much mining time was lost. You can see here, the economy swing in favor of GuMiho when there was no mining in the main. Ay, ay, ay. Swinging deep in favor of our red player. Creator is still recovering. You can see him just evening up that economy here as he's back into mining. Working towards that third. Back at home. We have our +1. We have 3 tanks for the time being. We can work towards a 4th tank. Yeah, there we go. 4th tank is on the way. This is going to be a pretty terrifying army. We are building up towards a high tank count, and we are pushing. GuMiho moving out across the map. Creator, he will spot this with the stalkers. Oh, does blink back. At the same time, Hallucination dips into the main. But at least Creator, he's aware. He's aware of the push. He should be preparing. Yeah, gateways are finishing up. Charges on the way. We are amassing blink stalkers. Shield batteries being thrown down to the natural. And because of the long rush distance by ground, it's taking quite some time for GuMiho to actually get to the Creator side of the map. Creator, he forces a siege. Delays the push. Drop comes in. Ooh. The probe gets a kill on that Widowmine. GuMiho trying to bait the army to chase the Marines. Creator doesn't take the bait. Doesn't take the bait, does back off. GuMiho getting his third base on location behind the push. And I love that GuMiho, he isn't overextending. Like, he isn't forcing the issue. He's chilling here in the center of the map, scanning, making sure there's no observer. Hallucination confirms the army is still being active. And now we move out towards that third. Creator, again, trying to make sure he doesn't get caught out by the tanks. Coming in from multiple angles. Charge is about to finish. Tanks are sieged. Again, GuMiho is trying to bait the army in. Creator, he will back off. He backs off, calms things down. Does calm things down as there we go. GuMiho, he does rotate back around. Creator a little bit late here to respond. Unable to get here in time. The tanks, they do siege. Again, Creator, who was hoping to get there before the tanks could, catching him on siege instead. My shot goes off. Archon goes down. 3 more Widowmines behind this. GuMiho pushing in towards that natural base. Overcharge is popped. But the Zelts are getting picked off, and here we go. We collapse on the army. Storm is done. At Templar, they're coming in. Big storm on the army. There's a massive storm here on the Marines, and it looks like a Creator, can he barely get on top of the tanks? There's 1, no, there's 0 tanks left. And Creator, he will hold. Barely comes in with reinforcements. Well, it was a costly trade. He lost all of his Templar, he lost his Archons. Uh-oh, but we're running out of Zealots. We're running out of Zealots. And GuMiho, he's just rallying across the map. He wants to break Creator here and now, but he will retreat. Waiting for more reinforcements, waiting to consolidate his army. Creator picking up another Widowmine. Gets a Marine. Third base still well up and running for GuMiho. Creator trying to sneak out of 4th base in the middle of this defense. And again, what's scary here is that in that first defense from Creator, he lost his High Templar. No storms. He has to wait a little bit longer here for storms to bank up. These High Templar, they go for the feedbacks. Yeah, no storms available. And GuMiho, has he broken the back of Creator? Is it too much? Immortal goes down. Good kiting here from GuMiho. The Zelts are running out. Creator, he goes for the Metax, but he will not get them. He gets punished for the blink. And GuMiho, he might just barely do it. Backs off though, he's going for secure damage. Goes for the fourth instead. Storm doesn't quite connect. Yeah, and you can see the Creator, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units. These have been expensive trades here for Creator, and he hasn't retained his high-tech units. Every fight, he loses the Immortals, he loses the Archons. GG gets called, and GuMiho will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Creator, he was so close to defending. He was so close to holding on. He initially almost did, but as we mentioned, every fight, GuMiho, even though GuMiho was being forced back, he was always trading very efficiently. He was always killing the Immortals, killing the High Templar, killing the Archons, just making sure that only gateway units ever survived. And even then, he was shaving off Stalkers as well. These were expensive losses. Expensive losses for Creator every single time, which means even though he was forcing back the army, he was still at a deficit. Still at a deficit there. And GuMiho does take a lead in the series. Creator, he needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Here we go. Does he have it in him? Can he pull it off? Personally, I hope so. Personally, I would love to see an ace match here. I'd love this to go the distance. Can we get there? Also, I mean, a bit of a pseudo announcement. Tomorrow we're going to be hosting some show matches. As you can imagine, we're going to be hosting the Club NVX Ducklings Showdown, and tomorrow we have GuMiho versus Nightmare and Bunny versus Creator. These two players are going to be featured in tomorrow's show matches, so this is a bit of a preamble. This is a bit of an appetizer leading into tomorrow's show matches that are going to be taking place. So, yeah, it's a bit of a taste for what is to come. And regardless of how this series goes, it does mean that, hey, tomorrow there's going to be that much more on the line behind these two to see if they can get, or if the losing player can get their revenge. So we get into game number 2. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Cloud9, leading the series 1-0. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, the blue Protoss player himself, representing Club NV. It is Creator. Well, also when it comes to game number 1, a big part of that as well as to why the push hit as hard as it did from the side of GuMiho is because of the mine drop. Remember, it's easy to forget, but the last game did start off with GuMiho going for a mine drop, and he denied so much mining time. He got a massive economic boost from that mine drop, and economic advantages, especially early on in the game, are huge. They pay off so much in dividends as the series does progress, or it just has so much more value because early on you have so much less workers and less of an economy to work with that it does kind of snowball out of control. So yeah, basically economic damage done early on is harder to recover from, as opposed to, you know, losing 10 drones when you have like 90 workers in a 15-minute game when you have a bank, for example. Here we go. Creator going immediately for the probe scouts. Does confirm the racks in the main base. Does confirm that this time there is no proxy. Behind this factory is thrown down. It was a double gas opener, so a faster factory. Delayed CC from GuMiho. Here we go. Oh, I see the emote in the chat. Yes, the Club NV emote. Yes, that one. The Duckling. But yeah, there's going to be those show matches tomorrow. Again, it's going to be Creator, GuMiho. It is also going to be Nightmare and Bunny. All going to be taking part in those lovely show matches. So stay tuned for that. I know we haven't had them for a while just because of IEM. Basically, we were waiting for players to finish traveling after IEM Katowice, which is why we took a couple of weeks off from the Duckling showdowns. But they're coming back tomorrow. They're coming back. Look forward to it. As GuMiho is getting into a CC on the high ground. Cyclones on the way. Okay, I was not expecting this. Reactoring out those Cyclones. Do we go for a Cyclone drop behind this as well? I'm curious. Now, we have seen GuMiho whip out Mech against Protoss before. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think last week we saw him whip out Mech against Protoss. Is he willing to do it here? He is not. That is a second Rax. It is going to be Bio. Thankfully, it is going to be Bio from GuMiho. Is making Cyclones, that is true. And Cyclones, they do have their place in the early game of this matchup just because they can pick apart Adepts, Stalkers, Zealots. Gateway units in low numbers are vulnerable to Cyclones. Probes as well. Probes are, as you can imagine, quite vulnerable to Cyclones as well. So a very aggressive start here from GuMiho, but following it up with Marines with Stim. We are going to be threatening that natural base. Behind this, going for our add-on swaps here. Again, only producing, I believe, 4 Cyclones. Yes, only 4 Cyclones for GuMiho. Going to be pushing on forward. Does get a couple of lock-ons. Does shut down the Adept. Does shut down the Adept. We'll pull back. And from here, at least we don't lose any Cyclones. They did take quite a lot of damage. They are an okay supportive unit for the army as well, especially if it was a Stargate opener. We can see that it was a Twilight Council into Blink. And ooh, this is quite committed on 2 bases. Okay, so it's going to be 3-gate Blink for the time being, which is why we do have a presence on the map into a Bay first, then into a delayed 3rd base. So, bit of a later economy here for Creator, but in favor of faster Colossus production. And this is much more standard. Blink Stalkers into Colossus. We saw Storm earlier, and it's always fun to see Storm just because it's not meta. Like, it's, you know, much more of a rarity here in TVP. Has its place in the matchup, don't get me wrong, but this is much more of a stable follow-up here by Creator going into Colossus. Is a consistent form of splash damage. As we do see GuMiho rotating over towards the right-hand side. Okay, supporting it with these Medivacs with this drop. We do see Creator trying to keep up here, and he does come across the army! Does come across it. 1 Cyclone barely is not going to go down. We do pick up a Marine. Cyclone's looking vulnerable. We still want forward. We dive up with the Sentry. Sentry goes down. Shield battery is denied. Quick cancel there from Creator, and we're going for the 3rd base. Stalker's trying to collapse on this. The 3rd base taking some damage. We do take quite a bit of damage here. Good juggling by GuMiho, keeping those Marauders alive. Oh my god! A bit of mispathing by Creator. He throws away 2 Stalkers, and that's going to be a kill on the Nexus. The base goes down. Again, you can see the added DPS with those Cyclones was something that I don't think Creator was really expecting. Tank has arrived, and GuMiho, he wants more. Gets a big volley off on the army. Does get a kill. He's going to rotate back around. And we can see Creator attempting to expand here towards the north, but GuMiho is making his way over towards that northern base. He's coming. Creator, likewise, he keeps up. Able to slow GuMiho down. The Colossus has arrived. Ooh. The Colossus has arrived. We have a second Colossus as well. We should be able to defend here. And yeah, GuMiho, he knows it. He knows there's no saving this army. He has to engage. Medevac goes down. We get a medevac. We get almost a second as well. Tanks under fire. Good volleys though on the army. The Colossus are exposed. No shot. We dive on the first one. We dive on the second as well. And Creator, he overextended. At the same time though, GuMiho, he migrated his heart out. He tanks so many shots with those jugglings. GG gets called and GuMiho will take the series 2-0. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. How many volleys did Creator waste trying to shut down that tank that was being juggled by the medevac? That was like 3 volleys. Like 3 volleys trying to focus on the tank, trying to focus on the medevacs as well. As that was happening, that one siege tank in the backline was going ham on the army. The Marines and Marauders steaming forward. And in a matter of seconds, Creator, he lost his entire buffer there for his Colossus. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to GuMiho for taking the series 2-0 for advancing on into the next round. And we have a couple of matches that are opening up. I need to very quickly refresh and make sure we don't get left behind. Because it looks like we have some other series. Okay, we have some updates. So GuMiho takes down Creator 2-0. Again, my condolences to Creator. He played well here, but he was never able to get into his stable 3-waste economy. Time and time again, Creator, he was trying to get in towards the mid game, but he was denied by GuMiho. GuMiho with a hyper-aggressive style here, knocking him down time and time again. GG, well played. Again, GuMiho advances on to the semifinals. Meanwhile, we have a lot of matches now available. Okay, from